State of the Sun Devils with Jeremy Schnell and Damon Allred.
An Arizona Sports Podcast.
Hello and welcome into another edition of State of the Sun Devils alongside Damon Allred. I'm Jeremy Schnell. ASU comes out with a victory. It wasn't pretty here today against West Virginia, but they're still alive, Damon.
A win is a win is what I believe they say.
They say that? Who's they?
I think the people who win.
Well, Kenny Dillingham said after the game that, they just find ways to win. And he says that
Show
all
me the
time.
baby.
Yeah.
So he gave a great analogy. He talked about when the baby is born, you don't ask about all the pain. You don't ask about everything that went into it. You just say, show me the baby. And so with ASU's win today, Kenny is saying, don't look at the one quarter where they were scoreless in the first quarter and it was 3-0. Don't look at the third quarter where I think they were also scoreless. Don't look at the
fourth quarter where they got outscored.
Don't look at the bad punts early. Don't look at any of that. Just look at the win because, goodness, show me the baby, and the baby is the win. The baby means staying alive in the Big 12 race, which got some help today by an unlikely friend. University of Arizona beats Cincinnati.
Yeah, and that's where we'll get to that. Arizona, obviously, ASU needs to beat Arizona in 2 weeks. They need to beat Colorado next week as well. I want to talk about Jeff Sims, though. Another really good performance from Jeff. He had almost 300 yards, obviously the 400 yards 2 weeks ago. He's not going to do that every week, but almost 300 yards, great performance. Over 80 yards on the ground, over 200 yards passing, 3 touchdowns.
First time in his career with 3 passing touchdowns and no interceptions.
Yep.
And his first time with 3 passing touchdowns since October 2021.
Yeah, he's still in college, guys. And Jeff Sims, listen, you're going to get the Jeff Sims experience. You saw it a little bit today.
There was the fumble on a QB sneak.
There was the fumble. There was the botched snap as well. Some high snaps today. Going to get that cleaned up. Wade Helton was
in there for the most part.
Yeah.
Makuapule had a few snaps, but yeah.
So some high snaps today. Can't blame Jeff for that. But I thought it was a pretty solid performance from Jeff Sims today.
Yeah, I think Jeff Sims is going to get all the reign he wants over these next few games as long as ASU is still winning games and remaining in the Big 12 title race. I think that if you'd see them drop the Colorado game, maybe at that point it's, do we find a drive for Cam Dyer during the Arizona game? Maybe we'll see when it gets to that point, but for right now, they're just in the Big 12 title race.
Right, and also, with that being said, if they don't make it to the Big 12 title game, or if they do and then they don't go to the playoff and there is a bowl game to be played, I would expect Jeff Sims to be playing in that bowl game as
he's earned the right.
The last hurrah for Jeff Sims. We're getting way too ahead of ourselves. This game in particular.
Keith Abney.
Keith Abney. Listen, he got burned on a play.
He did.
In the third quarter, yeah.
One of the few times we've seen him get burned this year on a stop-and-go double move. And
I have a picture of it if anybody wants to see it. I guess I will never solo on Keith Abney ever again because I probably jinxed him. I was just trying to get some pictures of you, Keith, and you went down to the ground. But boy, did he make up for it with that last pick at the end of the game.
And not only the game-sealing interception there at the end on 4th down, so it would have been a turnover anyway, even if he didn't catch it, which Kenny joked in the post-game press conference. He walks in, and Keith Abney's on his way out, and Kenny goes, "Oh, by the way, they actually ruled that an incompletion." Just to mess with Keith. And Keith is like, oh, man. But then he was like, no, it stayed as an interception. And so he got that moment. He had an interception.
Would have been better field position if he dropped it.
Good point.
Which doesn't matter because they just kneeled the ball.
Yeah. But, early in the game, too, Keith Abney had some incredible plays on 3rd downs and 4th downs to stop some West Virginia drives. I asked him if he was surprised by getting targeted so much. And he said, yeah. He's proven himself at this point to be one of the nation's best corners this season. There's that stat that I think continues today that I don't think any of the touchdowns today were credited against him. So I think he still has that streak of the most snaps in college football among corners without a touchdown allowed. And so that's just incredibly impressive stuff. Keith continues to blow everyone away with how good he's performing and, playing his way into the NFL draft.
Probably going to be a first-round pick. ASU has at least 2 first-round picks on this team. Coming, into next year's draft. So
I would still say potential first rounder for Keith. We'll just see if we can get there. But as far as you have the chance to get 2 first-rounders. That's pretty impressive given where ASU was just 3 years ago.
I saw Marcel Louis-Jacques, who works for ESPN as the Miami Dolphins reporter. He quote tweeted our interception, and he said CB1.
There we go.
Yep.
Top corner in the draft.
So Marcel went to Arizona State, so maybe he's a little biased there. But hey, that's an NFL reporter saying CB1.
Do the Dolphins play here tomorrow or something?
They play in Madrid.
Oh.
Yeah. Cool. Anyway, back to the game at hand. Let's talk about Derek Eusebio.
Yeah,
pretty
incredible
good game.
His career game, I think, as far as receptions.
Yeah, second touchdown of his career. The first one last year against Arizona, of course. Very good play to be able to make some cuts, get around some defenders, and get into the end zone.
Some good blocks as well in front of him from Mateer and Moss.
And then, boy, did that lead to the play of the game, I would say.
The fake extra point?
The fake extra point that, Damon, you prepared me for.
I prepared you for.
You didn't even say, you didn't say if it was going to be a fake punt. You didn't say if it was going to be an onside kick. You just said I think you said special
teams trickery, I think. Yeah.
And I was ready. So every punt, I was filming. And on that play, I was just so excited. I was taking pictures of Eusebio as he was going off the field, so I was on photo mode.
Yep.
Instead of video mode.
And yet, still no photo of the throw.
No.
That's okay. We forgive you.
I'm like, I hear the crowd and everything's happening, and I see the ball in the air. I was like,
I have to say, from the press box, it felt like that ball was in the air for like 10 seconds.
He did lob it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a little. No. He put a lot of air on it, like he does with a lot of his field goals, which we'll talk about right now. Jesus Gomez.
Well, actually, before we even get there, to his credit, Jack Nudo, the acting special teams coordinator right now, first off, maybe the best special teams game ASU has had all year.
Yeah.
Once it got a few short punts out of its system early in the game. But for that to be a play that Jack Nudo came up with, according to Kenny Dillingham postgame, where Jack just thought that he saw something on tape that West Virginia had a vulnerability there, and sure enough, he got Jesus to throw a dime on it, and it worked out pretty good.
I watched the play back a little bit, and you can see a gap between the guy who was supposed to rush Gomez and another guy on the end of the defensive line. So there was a gap there for Harpel to run into. So I think that might have been what they saw on tape. It worked, so that's all that matters.
Harpel, by the way, becoming one of the most underappreciated people on this team.
He's great.
And very solid in the blocking game, and
he can fly too. He's pretty fast, and I mean that's something that you take for granted because ASU has Sherman Mateer out there all the time. But Harpel is a great number 2 tight end, and he's shown it out there on the field for sure. Jesus Gomez, though, obviously the missed kick in the fourth quarter that would have put ASU up by 8, I believe, instead of 5. So then obviously West Virginia comes and they score the 90-something yard touchdown on the 3rd and 27.
Some explosives there for that.
Yikes. We won't talk about that just yet, but we will talk about how ASU was down by 1. They need Jesus Gomez to make this field goal. That's what they went out and got him for, and he delivered.
Down by 1, by the way, when they could have been down by 2 because of the 2-point conversion they got.
Down by 3, yeah.
Down by 3, excuse me. I'm not a math major.
No, so because of the 2-point conversion. yeah. No, I see what you're saying. Yes.
Oh, okay, there we go.
I thought you were talking about the 2-point conversion that West Virginia didn't convert at the end of the game. But yes, could have been down by 2. But continue. Jesus Gomez, great. That's what they went out and got him for.
He has been so incredible. You think about all the clutch moment that he's come up in, the multiple Big 12 Player of the Weeks that he's already gotten. I wouldn't be surprised to see him get another after throwing a 2-point conversion and getting the game-winning kick. So another good day for Jesus Gomez. He's obviously had his ups and downs this season, but another day where he comes up big when ASU needs it.
And that's what kickers are going to have, ups and downs.
Yeah.
You can't make every kick. Kickers are human, as much as we like to think Jesus Gomez is not. But to have the short-term memory that Jesus Gomez has, he got the field goal blocked. Next drive, I believe, came back and delivered the game-winning field goal.
Yeah, he's been ice-cold veins all year. I mean, we talk about the other games where he's had game winners. Some of those he had 2 misses before the game winner. And so just his ability to be the steadying force on this special teams unit has really been huge for ASU. I mean, just considering like the 56-day stretch they went last year without attempting one. I mean, it's just night and day.
Let's talk about that play that West Virginia ran, the 90-yard touchdown on 3rd and 27. There was some slippage on the field. There were some bad tackles. I didn't see anything wrong with the play call on defense because I went back and watched it before we jumped on and did the pod. I just think it was just a fluke play that just kind of happens sometimes, and unfortunately it happened at the very worst moment of the game.
Yeah, I think Jordan Crook was talking about sometimes you just get beat, and you can't play perfect for all 80 plays. I mean, you go back to the Mississippi State game where it was you play really good defense for 70 plays, and then 3 of them are just the ones that get you bad, and it can be like that sometimes in football. But what I think that you can take away from those moments today is that it wasn't 0 blitzes. It wasn't just we're going to strand our guys deep and see what they can do. 3rd and 27 or whatever it was, like that's not a situation where you should be letting a swing pass go for an explosive touchdown. And so
there is no world that you should be letting a swing pass go for a 90-yard touchdown.
Never.
No scenario.
Even how injured ASU's defense is this year, it should never get to that.
Yeah. But hey, it happens.
Still got the win.
Hindsight is 20/20. They went and they won the game, like you said. Talk about some sacks in this game as well, outside of the Abney interception.
Anthony Cooper got in there.
Fike got one.
Yeah.
And then I believe, who was it that got one as well? I'm blanking on who got one, but I wanted to give him his flowers. It was one of the inside linebackers, I believe.
Oh, Keyshawn Elliott.
Keyshawn Elliott, yes. I was editing, so I'll take the blame on that one. I should know my stuff. But yeah, good job by the defense, sticking with it, especially after the first drive of the game. Right?
Yeah. I mean, they were just dicing the ASU defense up for that first drive. It looked like another game where the read option was going to bite them bad, but they nailed it down a little bit. They stayed in their gaps better, and Scotty Fox had a little bit of an unfortunate day for himself.
But he also had over 300 yards passing.
Yeah.
So,
which, I mean, he's done that at times this year. He's shown some stuff as a true freshman, even though he wasn't even a top 50 quarterback in the class.
And you know what? I was walking by their sideline after, a bad play, and he seems like he has the pulse of that sideline. Mm-hmm. He's going up to his offensive line, telling them what he needs, and, I mean, that's what you want from a freshman quarterback. So, West Virginia fans are watching this. There's a little tidbit for you guys.
They're certainly watching this, and they're certainly watching 15 minutes in.
That's true. Now let's talk about the scenarios. We don't know all the scenarios. Obviously, when we're recording this right now, BYU and Utah have not played yet.
Cincinnati has lost.
Which Arizona
helps.
Beat them. So ASU went out, see what happens. The first part of the scenario did happen today in Cincinnati losing. So, if they can get some more help, Texas Tech winning out probably is going to happen. So,
that can happen, and ASU can still get in.
Correct. That's the scenario I think is the easiest route for ASU to get to the Big 12 championship.
Yeah, if we're doing the Occam's razor thing of the most simple answer is the answer, you can kind of look at it this way. Any of the 1 or 2 lost teams that are in the Big 12 still, you need them to lose at least one game. And BYU and Cincinnati still play each other, so that will be a loss right there. But that does not count. That doesn't factor into the everybody needs to lose a game. But Cincinnati already lost that game, and so Cincinnati could lose to BYU, and then they'd have their loss right there.
I think we want BYU to lose to Cincinnati. I think ASU would want that because then
Cincinnati
BYU
is certainly BYU's toughest remaining opponent
because it's at Cincinnati. So hey, I don't want to go over all the scenarios.
We'll get there when we get there.
Yeah, but we'll probably do that in our pregame show before the Colorado game. Hoping that we do have a pregame show. That is, we'll have to see what time the game is, which we'll find out on Monday morning at some point.
Yeah.
That's going to do it for this edition of State of the Sun Devils. Thank you so much for listening and watching. You can find us on all forms of social media at AZ Sports Devils. You can find all of Damon's articles that he wrote during the game on the Arizona Sports app and ArizonaSports.com. For Damon Allred, I'm Jeremy Schnell. Talk to you soon.